We're alive.
Hey,
Hello.
welcome back. Oh my gosh, it has been a minute. Welcome back to Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. It's been a minute, so my tongue might trip up a little bit on some of the things, but I am happy to be back. We are Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits, and ladies, we are the Black Coffee, our lips drip with honey, and sometimes we got a little bit of grit. I have a inkling that today might be a little bit gritty and all that as. And we're just gonna talk about real situations in our lives, y'all. We talk about real life situations for Black and brown women. And right now we're interesting, interesting climate with everything going on in the world. And so we're just gonna talk. So just let's talk. I'm gonna pass it on over to my ladies. I miss y'all. I miss seeing y'all, talking to y'all. Like, yeah. So anyway, it's my fault though, everybody, just so y'all know. It's my fault because I've been, you know, here, there, and everywhere and not here.
You said it. You said you've been gallivanting the world. Good for you.
I have been gallivanting all over this world, and it's not going to stop because I've got so much planned. I'm so excited about it. Although I am getting just a tad bit nervous, but I'm going to pass it on over to, I'm just going to say who I am. For those of you who may not know me, I'm Dr. Jamesia, the nurse practitioner extraordinaire. I'm also your intermittent fasting and mindset coach, YouTube influencer, speaker, author, all the things. And I have the privilege to be a part of this amazing podcast, Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits, with these ladies. I'm going to pass it on over to you, Carmel.
I am Coach Carmel. I work with folks who have come to realize that they have a food and sugar addiction. And we implement a whole food plant-based lifestyle in order to combat that and whatever chronic conditions come along with it. So that's me. And I'm glad to be back too. Hey, everyone. I'm going to pass it over to you, Maisha.
Hey, everybody. I'm still just Maisha until I figure out something. I'm not going to say anything more about that. And I'm passing it back to you, Dr. Jamesia.
Yeah,
I have some brewing, but I will say absolutely nothing about it right now.
Yeah, that's all good. You know, I feel like too when I say like my whole spiel that it's like, am I really?
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
Yes,
I still am. Yeah, I still am.
By the way, congratulations. I'm sorry, just real quick. I was like, oh, where's everybody doing? I see Carmela's almost at 1,000 followers on YouTube. So she needs like 6 more. I know, I pay attention to that stuff. And I saw Dr. Jamesia is almost at 10K.
Hey.
Okay. She's at over 8,000. All right. So
I think it's like 9,000 right now. But
wow, that's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And you haven't even been doing anything.
Huh?
And she's not doing anything. Like her last video was like months ago.
Well, whatever. So there we are.
Okay. All right.
But yes, and I'm not doing anything. But you know why it's like that? And I still get paid by YouTube. It's because of the groundwork from years and years.
That's right.
So, you know, when you lay the groundwork, it's there. And those videos are still relevant to life and all that good stuff. I am going to jump back in that, y'all. So like we're doing what we're doing on Fridays now, y'all. We've scaled it back. We're going to try just Fridays, just a weekly podcast. And then I'll just do like one, I'll do a weekly something on my channel too, just to upload something on my channel to, keep my viewers interested. But yeah, y'all, it has been very interesting since we have installed this new president. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is pretty much gone. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah, well, first, is someone listening to music? I feel like I'm having a sauna. There's some feedback. It sounds like somebody's playing spa music in the background.
Oh, hold on.
It's always Carmel doing something in the background there and in her home. But while she figures that out, I've gotten past my, my disgust, my shock, my anger, and all of that stuff, because snakes hiss, dogs bark, cats meow. So there's nothing happening right now that is like thrown, like, I'm flabbergasted that people are shocked, I think, is more what's happening with me than I am shocked at what they're doing. It was very clear what was going to be done. Like, they said it. They had a whole document about it. So
I don't
here we are
know
doing it.
I don't know if it's so much that people are shocked. I think and it just got real, right? I feel like people are just coming to the realization of, oh shit, this is really happening,
Yeah.
and that's what it is. And I feel like that's where I am. I'm not shocked, but I feel like it hit me, and I'm like, wow, this is what they were talking about, and I feel it in that way.
Oh, I'm shocked. I'm shocked because it's like in my face every day. If you guys don't know, I work for the government, and I'm getting emails every day, every other day, asking me to resign from my job, and offering me packages that, like, the most recent thing was, if you resign by yesterday, which they pushed it to Monday, you'll get paid for 8 months to do nothing. What government? Come on, y'all. Where they do that?
You get your full pension, though.
No, you're resigning.
Right. See, no.
So and let me tell y'all, when I first got it, I was like, oh, thank you, Lord, you've been listening. But then I was like, resign. Right. And then I talked to my sweetie, and he was like, if you resign, that means you quit. When you quit, you don't get nothing. I was like, damn.
So who else is getting these emails?
Everybody who works for the government.
Yeah.
Every single government. Yes.
All the entities.
Yes. All of them.
And so people will say, heck no, right? Because it's not going to be on the books that I'm quitting, because that implies something else. And when that happens, are they going to just kind of start choosing people and picking people out?
So 65,000 as of this morning, government workers have accepted the deal.
That's a lot of people.
That is yeah. So when I heard about it on Tuesday, because they have to give us updates as to how many people have taken the deal. So the last thing was, well, if you take the deal, you're going to get this situation where you can stay home and do nothing for 8 months, and we'll pay you. And then after that, I don't know what happens. I guess nothing. That is the severance. And then if you don't take that, just know that 50% of the government is going to be downsized.
Well, so furlough is different. Like, letting go is different, right? Because you still retain certain things versus leaving. I'm a wait. You're gonna kick me out and give me everything.
You have to pry my cold dead hands from my government job. Okay. Yeah, that's not happening here. But just so you guys know, that's the climate that I'm in, and I'm just shocked that I'm not shocked that it's happening. I'm shocked the way it's happening and how swift and how up in my face. I thought it would be a lot less in my face.
Like the first time around.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's because he learned from the first time around, right? So he came in, not just it's not really him. They came in with a plan.
A whole
this time. Yeah. And I know a lot of people have not read Project 2025, and I get that. I perused enough of it. I'm not going to say I read every single page of the 925 pages or whatever it was, but I did read enough of very specific portions of it that I thought would definitely apply to my life and the lives of Black people. And they had a plan when they came in. And part of this plan is to do this swiftly and quickly, to hit with the punches. By the time the courts catch up, the ones who can, the ones that he won't already have in his pocket, right? Because as he's doing this, he's making other moves behind the scenes. Then by the time this really catches up to the legal portion, there can already be things put in place to combat that. But the first thing to do, and all presidents have really in the first 100 days, really, they charge forward. They really do. So he's not doing anything specifically different in that way. It's just what he's doing and what is setting the scene for down the road. We got a lot of comments over there too. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't like my music?
Yeah. So he says, ahoy, hey, Foxy ladies, hey, hey. And then he also says that Republicans refuse to believe non-white people can be qualified. Yeah, which is crazy. But to blame certain things that's happening as far as the airplane crashes and all of that on diversity, equity, and inclusion is really a slap in the face. But that's
and he spent so much time talking about that. Like, this is the reason, because everybody wants to hire these people that are not, these people that are
not qualified. So they're setting up the scene to give people back their Black jobs. And so if you remove all the migrant workers, you still need people to work fields. You still need people to work factories. If you strengthen law and order and our criminal justice system, and you privatize our prison system, which he's looking to do, and or you ship them off to another foreign country, which he's actually considering doing with the prisoners of the United States. You just have to figure out what that looks like. I don't even know why that would be on the table. You're setting up a scenario to now get back to things that they had in New York City, like stop and frisk, broken windows policies, where you start to arrest people for little things. You start to tack on other charges. You start to inflate the prison system so you can give Black people back their Black jobs. Right? Because didn't none of us complain about the jobs that the migrants had when they got here? Not one of us was like, I want to be the one standing at Home Depot waiting to drywall somebody's house. Right? But this is the setup to execute that type of policy.
Yeah. And so now, like, we're seeing all these companies and businesses saying, hey, well, we're not going to require any diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're taking that, we're stripping everything from our policy, everything from our bylaws. We're stripping it all, and it's not going to have any wording. And so yesterday, I got an email that said the requirement for discrimination training, diversity, equity, and inclusion training, whistleblowing training is no longer in your courses. It's no longer required. I was like, wow.
Listen, the only, like after the shock and awe, and there was some part of me that was just like, and I know people are going to think this is crazy, but this country got the president it deserved. And this country needs to go through this in order to come out on the other side. And good. So Black people can start coming together in a different kind of way. And good, so that we can understand that this country really does not have our best interest in mind. And good that we can go back to being resilient amongst ourselves and our community in the ways that we did when the Reconstruction era was in place, because the diversity, equity, and inclusion was in place because white people are racist, not because we asked them to put it there.
Right.
It was right. It was there because we weren't chosen because they were racist.
Right.
Nobody wants to be hired based on the color of their skin. We just want to be hired, but we wouldn't even get hired. Right. So, let's just start hiring our own. How about that?
We've grown complacent, thinking that this country does have our back, that we're very privileged, right? But this is showing us how easily it can be taken away. And it's showing us, just like what you just said, Maisha, we have to start hiring our own. This is very blatant and in our faces that something has to be done. We're sitting here thinking, oh yeah, we're good. Like our ancestors, or not even ancestors, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, our fathers, our mothers.
Not long ago.
Right.
It wasn't long ago. They did what they had to do in order to ensure that we are living their dreams. And America's like, oh no, they're too comfortable. they're not welcomed like they think that they might be at this point. And
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a real eye opener.
Yeah. And so you know, like my music says that they can't blame Democrats anymore because they have no power. So they're stuck blaming DEI for everything, which
They're
is
gonna
spot
get rid of DEI, and then what? And then who do they blame?
spot on.
Hire
That will
competent
be,
white men.
and that will be for a while. They're going to do that for a while.
Yes, that's what's that. Hire competent white men is what someone tweeted out. They've actually in Texas passed a law that says that no Democrat can hold a seat, a chair on any committee in Texas. You can be a lawmaker, but you can't be a chairperson. You cannot decide what bills come to the floor.
What?
Ain't that wild? Ain't that wild? It's just like it's just unmantling. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
and I'm glad that people are getting to see like people are getting to see the truth of
The
this
truth.
of this country. And I'm not like I don't even care about the Democrats. You know, y'all know me. I don't. Both parties to me same side of the same coin because none of them were rioting in the streets like I thought that they should have, as much as they were on the side of everyone else. It wasn't until just last week that these folks got up in front of the Treasury Department and held a press conference with some extra energy and some oomph and some vitriol. I was like, y'all are already like 15 days too late with this. Like we needed that type of energy up front. And if people think like you see a small portion of Democrats, if people think that the whole entire Democratic Party does not agree with the things that are going on, knowing that the Democratic Party's majority white men, no, they are not all on our side. If you live in a metropolitan city, maybe, but not across the country.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I was just in DC.
How was that? What's the atmosphere like there?
Oh, very prickly, very, very prickly. The MAGA hats, the walking around just looking at you like you don't belong. I went to the African American Museum and it just hit me. And I was like, oh, how long will this be here?
Interesting. I thought about that too. Thought about that.
Can
Will
they?
that see people why can't they? People
Right.
The laws that exist in this country do not exist to protect Black people.
There's a part like this.
change.
The 5-year-old in me is like, but mommy, why?
Yeah.
Because they don't like Black people. And that's so hard. Like that's so heartbreaking to hear, isn't it? Like but it's like tell me another like this man got up and I don't watch the news, but I watch what he says because I like to hear it from the ass's mouth. This man got up there when talking about a plane crash.
Okay.
And took the time not to talk about the families, but as soon as he was asked the question, lit into the idea, alluded to the fact that it was incompetent people because they were not white people in that position. It can't get any more clear to me when the leader of the country you live in feels that way. The country does not like you.
Yeah.
So we can stay here and build, or we can go. But we're gonna have to figure out which one we're doing. Or we could slide in like Clarence Thomas and just be like, no, I'm here, massa. I'm on your side. I'm here to help. I'm shucking and jiving for you. Or freaking Snoop Dogg. No, I'm trying not to use all the foul language. Don't.
But look, y'all. So I don't particularly. Now I use Amazon, but I don't do the Walmart, the Targets, I have no need to do it because of Amazon and because of other stores, but Amazon just stripped their DEI stuff away as well.
They did, and let's think about why they even did that in the first place. They didn't
Well, first of all,
policies
the owner,
there.
they're buddy. The owner,
Right, but they didn't do, when we look at when that all really went into place, it was in response to George Floyd. So it wasn't when you look at the policies that have ever been put in place that have benefited us, it wasn't because people saw us as human. It was in response to something that was happening, not out of the goodness of their heart. People didn't sit back and go, daggone it, Black people are being treated wrong. We should talk about some civil rights. No, it was in response to us doing things. So when George Floyd was murdered, the way he was murdered in cold blood for everyone to see, by the way, that has changed nothing in terms of police brutality around the country. Let me just point that out. All of the because Black people were so riled up about it, rightfully so, companies got on a bandwagon. What are we going to do? We don't want to lose their money. Let's do this DEI stuff. Let's get some Black products in the store. Let's show them that we're on their side. But you weren't doing that 10 years ago. It was only and always in response to something, not because it was the right thing to do. So now that they don't have to do it, who's fighting? There are a few companies that are actually fighting to keep it. JP Morgan Chase, a few other companies. But if you fold like that, was it ever really that serious to begin with?
Real. Yeah.
No. It was performative, like a little black square and those stupid blue bracelets that white women were wearing, talking about, I'm on your side. No, go talk to your white women because they voted for that idiot.
I thought it was something blue. I thought it was blue. Oh.
Yeah, blue. Yeah. I'm a safe space. No, you're not. No, you're not. Now go talk to your sisters who voted for that dude because their daughters are about to be having babies at 14, 15, and 16 years old.
Yeah. Really, that's really
Yeah.
what they want. But anyway, you didn't hear from me. But yeah.
They're trying to cross state lines. Okay, getting arrested. Already happening, by the way.
Already, yeah.
That's been happening.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy you don't like my music. Is here with all the comments.
Oh, I didn't put any of those up there. I'm sorry. We just talking. I'm sorry.
I know. Who will? He's got some good stuff.
He's got some good stuff.
He does. Okay.
Yes. It is much more politically correct to say that. So
It's for sure.
Yeah, I encourage people to read history because they don't teach it in our country, and that is on purpose. I encourage people to start reading the history of the rise of fascism in Germany and in other European countries. It is highly necessary reading. We swear it cannot happen here because we're so advanced. We're actually not that advanced as human beings. Our brains are literally the same as they were 2,000 years ago. We are not that advanced. And here's the thing. When war was happening in Europe, we only went in. We didn't go in. We didn't even go in because we cared about what was happening to the Jewish people. Right? There was no concern for them. They'd been exterminated for years. The United States only went in when their interests, their economic interests, were attacked. Right. So let's be clear about that. Whatever's going to happen in this country is necessary because the only way Germany became the way it was and Italy became the way it is now, and they got rid of Stalin and Hitler and these other folks, is through their own internal war. But no one's coming to save us. There's no other country that's going to come help us the way we helped over there. So that's why I'm saying Black folks need to really think about how you're going to build community here. It might not look devastating like bombs, but we need to really start thinking about a plan for community so we're not constantly on the defensive with what this idiot is going to come up with and all of his fools.
Yeah, and I'm very thankful that I am connected to the community, and I'm involved in a sorority that is very much involved in the community and putting our dollars together for our children who will need assistance.
Yes.
So it's already happening. Thank God for, like I said, for sororities, for fraternities, for community involvement. That's just where it's going to be for a while. I
mean, I'm lucky, and Carmela's here too, but like living in New York City, and I was telling my children, I said, right now, this is the safest place for us to be because of the way this city is set up and how racially diverse it is, and how because of the way this and I mean the city. When I looked at the counties for upstate, because I was like, I'd like to move, the majority of upstate New York is red. There are a handful of counties that vote blue upstate. So when I say the city is the safest place, I mean the city outside of maybe Buffalo, Rochester, Schenectady, and like 7 other counties. Right? Outside of urban areas, when you start to get out into other states, it's going to be felt a lot by the people who are there on a local level, more than it would here if you're living in Illinois or Virginia, North Carolina. Other places in the United States are going to feel it differently than those of us who live in New York City, LA, Chicago, maybe Miami. So that's why we still need to come together, not to think that just because we're okay doesn't mean the rest of the country is okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, and most of our HBCUs are in those types and kinds of areas. Yeah. So other than that, y'all, anything else exciting going on in your life? What's going on? Anything exciting?
This is all like I'm here with the popcorn, like this is gonna be effed up, but man, I'm excited for how Black people are gonna come out of this. I really am, because I'm telling you, like I'm not concerned for our end. I just know that we've always risen out of the ashes. Like Kendrick Lamar said, we gonna be all right.
Yeah.
So I mean, throw it. We're just gonna find a way, like during Reconstruction, right? Slavery's over. What you gonna do? Oh, we gonna build some towns. Oh, we gonna do this. And then they didn't like that and tried to take it away. No worries, we got you. We about to do it on a whole nother level. So I'm excited.
Maisha, I really, really appreciate what you just said, because I'm sitting here and I'm feeling like I'm stuck in this little bubble of anxiety because of this conversation, this topic. I've never felt this before. But what you just said, I shared this with you last week. 2025 started off with some shit going down in my life, and on a very small scale. Listen, it complete first world problems, completely first world problems. But still, I was going through it, and as I was going through it, I had the foresight to know that this is going to be my year of growth. This is forcing me to grow in so many ways, but I was not able to really kind of take that and blow it up and feel the same way about this country. But what you just said really just kind of put my anxiety level really down. Like, okay, we're gonna grow. Black people are gonna really be like grown up this year. And you know how every generation gets a little bit, for lack of a better word, softer, less resilient.
Yeah.
Right? Because our previous generations, our mothers and our grandmothers, have really kind of like I said earlier, set it up for us so that we're living their biggest dreams. And so we're here, this generation, and even Gen Zs are very comfortable right now. But now is the time for us to all kind of say, all right, it's time for us to toughen up because we got work to do.
Yeah,
so it's
not
a bad thing.
Yeah, hey,
you don't like what music said. Please share that growth with us here on this channel, Carmel. We all need that advice. I'm gonna say this and then pass it to you, Dr. J. I heard you. I saw you said you need to say something just for Carmel. It is actually, when I say study history, we need to look towards the fortitude of the Haitians, who, when faced with such a challenge, who are in the position they are in because they refuse to bend a knee. You understand? That they fought off the most powerful army in the world. And the reason why they're in this situation is because they have to keep paying that country back, which is why I keep saying they don't really like us people, because if they did, France would have been like, you know what, that was wrong. Here, Haiti, let's give you back your money. They're not going to do that, right? But we still need to look towards the fortitude of the Haitians who said, no, we didn't come. No, you might have brought us here, but we're not about to be your slaves. We need to look towards Nat Turner. We need to look towards the rebellions that happened and know we've always done that. And remember that it wasn't just Harriet Tubman It wasn't just MLK. There were whole slave ships that were just taken over. And we need to remember that. It's in your blood.
It is.
It's in my blood, baby. And you know, I've been learning more and more and more. Every time I feel like, oh shit, Haiti did this too, I'm learning something else. That they went to DR to help fight. They went to other countries to help fight. And people, other countries respected and saw and acknowledged the fortitude, the strength, the resilience of the Haitian people. And Haiti was just kind of like, yeah, let's do this. Let's help you get this done. And yeah, so that good stuff. And I keep learning about Haiti, and I think that this is when I was supposed to learn it, because mom and dad were too busy trying to raise this family in America. We didn't learn it. We didn't learn it. I had to start teaching myself, reading upon it, and just also hearing stories. Learning things, because somebody said, did you know Haiti did this? Oh, and by the way, this is just a cheap plug. My cousin, he is, he makes movies, he writes movies. And so he was able to feature a story from the Haitian Revolution. And we had a big red carpet thing in Manhattan. This was some months ago, but it was recently picked up by Amazon Prime. So
oh my God,
this last week, yeah. So that's
okay. Then we might have to watch a little Amazon.
Yeah, yes, please send us the link. I'm with you, Dr. J. Amazon's gonna have to have me for a minute because I don't know anywhere else where I can get the stuff. I'm not shopping at Alibaba. So,
but here's the thing too, that we have to remember. And with everything that we're going through and everything that we will go through, we have to remember three things. We got to get our education right, we got to get our money right, and we got to get our purpose right. So work on those things, and a whole lot won't be able to slip by you. If you are just sitting behind and just waiting for something to happen, waiting for somebody to tell you this, that, or the third, that's not going to work. You're going to need to, again, get your education together, get your money together, get your purpose together. And so I'm just going to say what I've been doing in the realm of getting my money together, which y'all know I'm money motivated, so I keep that on lock. But I've been training myself to trade in the stock market. And I'm just going to say that this past week is probably my most prosperous week, which has been really good. So I feel like people think that is a white thing. It is not. And as far as look, Wall Street's looking like us, and that's what Wall Street Trapper says. Wall Street is looking like us. So when I say that, I will say that y'all need to put y'all money in very diverse things, not just cash. It needs to be in Bitcoin, it needs to be in stocks, it needs to be also in cash, available cash, and let your money grow. Don't just spend money on bags, purses, tennis shoes, although I do those things. I do. But don't just let it be that. So
yeah, and precious metals too, just in case. I'm paying attention to
gold and silver.
Yes, because I'm paying attention to what could happen in the stock market and where things could go and a crash that could occur. And so it's good to have that diversity. And so gold and silver. And what's interesting, I was telling one of my children when I went to sell a piece of jewelry, and the guy there was like, if you have any gold or silver, we need it, we want it. I was like, oh, that's different, because I've been there before. They were like, we want gold and silver.
Listen,
that's something for us to look at.
Yeah.
Everybody who's listening, Maisha's right. When I was watching the market, when the market it literally crashed, not completely, but it went down real bad. A couple days after the president was installed. But the only thing that was going up was gold and silver.
We're not financial advisors. We're just paying attention, okay?
No, I'm not telling you what I do. I'm just telling you what I do, okay? Yeah. So y'all, hey, we have
Diversify.
to do our due diligence, y'all. We really do. We really do. And don't, and I know I said the three things, they're all equally as important, but your purpose is important too. Don't let all this damper your purpose, because if you don't have a purpose, if you don't have something you're moving towards every day, you really can get depressed. You really can get into this whole thing.
That's right.
And before you know it, you're spiraling.
That's right.
So
That's right.
that's all I got. I ain't trying to preach. I'm just saying.
I love it. I'll say what I'm doing is there's something that I'm building that I don't want to build, but it no matter how much I keep trying to put it to the side, it's coming back to me. So I'm working on that. And I'm also learning, I'm getting back into doing certain things myself, that things that I used to want to make, shampoos, conditioners. I made my own body butter, being more self-sufficient in a way so that if and when certain goods and services might not be accessible, I mean, people are freaking out over eggs.
Yeah.
Right. I'm still good. Toothpaste, body wash. Like I've been learning how to make my own stuff, and then also looking at what it looks like to homestead. Yeah, I've said it time and time again. I'm not interested in growing a damn thing, but I would rather grow my own, especially since now the CDC is not sending out any reports about listeria or salmonella.
No reports,
because all of that has been cut, right? So my spinach could be effed up, my burgers could be effed up. Either way. So I'm really looking at what would it look like to sustainably have a piece of land where I could start growing my own things and making sure that my food is locally sourced versus having to rely on bigger stores. So that's what I'm doing to help give myself a sense of peace and control in my own life. And that's a huge leap buying land.
You don't necessarily have to have a piece of land to do that. Coco is actually doing that right now. She's got a garden in her apartment or in her condo or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, tomatoes, cucumbers, cilantro. She's got this whole thing going on. So
yeah, I will not be doing that in this apartment. But yes, people, you can. And you can, if you've got a windowsill too, if you've got a trellis you can have, you do. Yes, you do not need it. I want land for different reasons. I don't want to be stuck up under all these folks.
It makes sense.
And then there's the cooperatives, right, where you can actually have a piece of the local farmers market.
Yeah. I'll tell you. When I was looking at where I would move to, and I was looking at the counties, I'm looking at it for different reasons. I'm looking at what is the percentage of Black people, right? Like what's really going on here. And I've narrowed it down to about 3 counties now that I would look at moving to, and look at what the land looks like there to make this move in about 2 years, because it's either that or I'm going overseas, right? Either way, I'd like to be out of the city. But it is something to look at, and how I would do that in a cooperative way. If I had a bigger apartment with some sunlight, I would look at that.
Yeah.
So Carmel, what are you doing?
Real quick, Carmel, you don't like my music says he's trying to convince his wife to leave and go to the countryside with him in the next 7 years.
Listen, I'm mad at that.
Yeah. So when you say, what am I doing? Which part are you referring to?
Like, what are you doing to keep your sanity here? Dr. Jamisia says she's focused on her money. I'm over here focused on being crunchy granola. I mean, it's all par for the course with us. What are you focused on?
Well, so I've started looking at money and stocks and investing. I'm still trying to figure it all out, but I've started looking into that with my cousins and my sister, of course.
Yeah.
And I'm I'm just staying focused on my on my fitness and nutrition. I'm really working on that. Ladies, I'm going to do a wellness weekend, a retreat type thing with fitness related. Yeah. So I'm working on that, still working on building community. And like you made mention, thank you. I'm 6 people away from 1,000 people on my YouTube, subscribers on my YouTube channel.
Subscribe to my channel.
Let's get it to 1,000. Let's go.
Get me to 1,000. I am excited. I'm so excited about that. So I only have 6 people. So whoever's watching this right now, just jump on. And if you see that I already reached my 1,000, just subscribe anyway
right.
and
Come on.
share the information out. So I'm still honing in my message, still have my message, and I'm trying to expand and include other things where I can really support women as we age, so that we can just thrive with longevity and vitality.
You know,
Yes.
I love this, even as we're talking about this and thinking about the value and what we can bring, and always loving the diversity that we have here and the different topics, because it's all going to be so incredibly relevant, especially for Black women who may have spent, a lot of Black folks got a good government job because that was, one, the only place that would let us in, because corporate America definitely shut us out, right? And two, because of its stability, that's how many of us have been able to purchase homes and create wealth of some sort. And so just not being able to have that anymore, there's so many Black women, especially, and not that we don't love our Black men, it's just that Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits focuses on the women. And if the women do well, the men are going to do well. But it's really important, I think, for a lot of Black women who may now be 45 and up, 50 and up. How am I going to pivot now in this time of life with all of these changes happening, who've been in this position, this job for 25 years, and now what? And I think we have something that we can really begin to bring to Black women, to help them figure out how to get them healthy for this next phase of life, get their money right for this next phase of life. Because just because you were making 6 figures doesn't mean you've saved anything.
That is
I love that we're able to bring this. And
Yeah.
AI, I was never really concerned about the future until this AI stuff. I've made my peace with AI at this point.
Listen,
It took a long time.
listen, this is not advice. This is not advice, but AI is here to stay.
It
And
is.
I've invested in it, and that has been one of my biggest gains. So if you're paying attention, AI is where you're going to make some money, because if the government decides that I'm no longer needed, I'm going to use what I'm learning in the stock market, leveraging AI to make some money, not just some money, the exact same money I'm making with my government job. So
Okay, waiting on that course. Thank you.
Seriously, I need to hear more, Dr. J. I need to hear more.
I don't want to give financial advice. I'll just send you guys my
privately. We got the inside scoop. We got you.
Okay. Listen, I'm gonna send my plays to y'all. If you want to do it, you do it. I just, once I get more proficient, because I'm not proficient, but I'm making money.
You know what they say? I was listening to somebody talk. They said you only need to know 10% more than the average person to start teaching it to them. And right now, 20% more than me and Carmel. You only need to know. We think we need to know like stuff. No, you just need to know like this much more.
Yeah. Give me 5% and I'll try to figure it out.
All right. But see, this is why y'all should stay tuned, because who knows, when we do something in the future, when we invite y'all out to the things, there may be some learning happening.
By that time, we'll be teaching. Listen, I'm telling you. I mean, why not? I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited because this is generational. This could be generational. Anybody can do. I am not any smarter than anyone watching this. It's just that I've put in the time and I'm interested and I'm money motivated. I'm sorry. But, I can teach what I know. And like I said, I've made some decent gains, but we will, I'll continue to learn so that I can impart it to anybody who wants to hear it. But I don't give financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I do.
That's all right.
She said that like 8 times already.
I know. Because people will come back and go, you said no.
It's true.
No.
It's true.
I said what I did.
No, I understand.
Yeah. But all right, but just send that information. Okay, thank you.
I most certainly will. You, my girls.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And so just real quick, you don't like my music along with AI. And this is one of, and Dr. Jamesia mentioned crypto. When we look at what the president is doing, like this, unfortunately, we got to think what's going to benefit white people. And we kind of got to get on that bandwagon. We don't want to be behind it. And I hate to even have to think that way, right? So if he's creating all this crypto, or this space for crypto, he's not going to do something unless it's going to benefit, the white man. So what does that look like? And then we're slow to it because we have a lot of fear around it, but that we need to be paying attention and start making those types of moves. So the stuff that we are lagging behind in is AI and crypto, for the most part, and we really need to start looking at getting into that more.
We really do. And just really quickly, I'm just going to say the Magnificent Seven are the main stocks that I am putting my money into. Not tons of money. I'm dollar cost averaging. They call it DCAing. I'm just putting $50 here, $100 here every 2 weeks.
Look, Carmel.
And then crypto, and then my crypto stuff, Bitcoin and XRP. I'm just putting $50 every 2 weeks. No matter what the cost is, I'm just doing that. No matter what the cost is. I'm not telling you to do this. This is what I'm doing. And there are a couple of outliers after that. And like I said, I might as well just tell y'all. So today I made money on Hims, which is a medical company. I made money on Oklo. I made money on Palantir, and I made money on Uber. So those are the ones that I made money on today. And then I also bought Cannabis Growth for the future because of this Kennedy guy is all into this stuff. So we'll see.
I'm definitely going to get in on the cannabis industry, but my daughter's in it. So she talks to me about what's happening, and she's definitely getting in on it as well. And there is a lot to be said, and the pharmaceutical companies will catch up sooner rather than later. So that is a great space. Some of the others, I got ethics issues. So it's hard for me to invest in companies that I have personal grievances with. But I do try.
Money's green, and I need it. And I'm sorry.
Different people are different.
I am completely different, and I am being very careful. He says, be careful with crypto. Yeah. Crypto is not, listen, I don't know anything about the all of that. I just know that they're doing it. So I'm doing a little bit of it just because I want my portfolio to be, diverse. But I don't even know where I was going. I'm you invest where the money is, and I invest where it's in alignment, right, with my values and my beliefs. So it's sometimes it's difficult to choose companies because of some of their practices and things that they're doing. But I mean, you look, whatever's clever, as the old ex-boyfriend would say. and before we leave, I'm going to tell everybody about what I just said about making money. You guys are probably like, oh, Dr. Jamesia, she has this money. She can do this. She can do that. I can't do this. I can't do that. Nope. I grew my account with $50 on Robinhood.
Yeah.
So just that, I'm just going to leave it there. So.
Yeah. Robinhood, Acorns, Betterment, TD Ameritrade. You don't have to have $5,000 to start. You don't got to save up $5,000.
Nope.
I definitely want to talk to you about that, Dr. J, because I have 2 of those apps, and I just want to know how to better use it, because I'm like, okay, I got some money in here, now what to do? So
yeah, you mentioned that to me about 2 years ago. No problem, anytime.
I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's that she didn't give it to you, or she was like, I'm here, but you got to come over here to get the information.
Yeah, no, and I sit, confused people do nothing. People who are kind of like, that's me. But now I really want to get into it. So
yeah, let's go. Let's look at, depending on what happens with these tariffs, people got to consider those things as well, right? So what companies are going to ride high off of the tariffs, right? So
Yeah.
And when the military contracts start coming in after they, figure out some way to take over poor Gaza, pisses me off. Then that'll be something for people to look at too, unfortunately. But yes, sorry.
So,
Trying
anyway,
to steal
I don't know.
Canada, Greenland. I'm just like, oh my God, like the forward expansion. I'm like, these people have not learned a damn thing. Aliens, come take me. I'm ready. I'm ready to
All right,
go.
we went on a tangent.
Yeah, we did.
But
So
hey,
good.
this is how we're feeling. This is what's happening. But that's all I have today. That's all I have. Do you guys have anything else y'all want to chit chat about? Talk about?
No,
All
I'm good.
Cool.
We got this all out, so now we can, I guess get back to some other stuff. We flushed it out, and now we can get back to our other fun stuff.
Yeah.
Loving on everybody, loving on our Black men, loving on our bodies, our minds, our souls, our meditations, our journaling, our money, our businesses, all of those things that we
Nutrition.
I said our bodies, our health.
Oh, you said? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. All of those things. But that's all I got, y'all. We'll see you on Friday.
That's enough. Yeah, next Friday for sure.
We're doing our show on Fridays. So
Thanks for being here. You don't like my music. Appreciate all your
he
comments.
stays the whole time. Thank you.
Yeah, completely engaged. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes.
Tell your wife we said hello.
Who said how? Who?
I said, tell his wife we said hello and to go on and move to the countryside with him.
Yes. Tell your wife we said hello and have her log, look, check us out or whatever, and
Sure,
go with
for
you to
sure.
the countryside. All right. We'll see y'all. See you later. Bye, guys.
Bye. See you next week.